Learning question. What is the American dream? Okay, someday we're going to get the jack together and we're going to have a little house and a couple of acres and a cow and some pigs. This is a dream repeated 3 times in Of Mice and Men. It's George and Lenny's dream. Curly's wife also dreams. I could have made something of myself, she said darkly. Maybe I will yet. But her dreams are of Hollywood stardom. Both these dreams fit within the wider American dream. The American dream is a phrase used so often people think it has been around for hundreds of years. But, just like Of Mice and Men, it is an invention of the 1930s. In 1931, the historian James Truslow Adams used the phrase over 30 times in his book, The Epic of America. He describes the American dream of a better, richer, and happier life for all our citizens of every rank. Adams himself did not believe that people like George or Lenny, Candy or Crooks, or Curly's wife needed help from the government to achieve their dreams. For him, the simple existence of America gave them a chance to save themselves. But what is this American dream? And how does it relate to Of Mice and Men? America is a young country. The English immigrants who left Plymouth went to a new world in search of what they considered a good life. They were Puritans. They were unhappy with this country and wanted a place of their own and to be able to live by their own rules. Others from very different backgrounds would also leave Europe, their inspiration a dream of a new life, a new beginning in a new world. If you were born a servant in Europe, your children would be servants. If you were born a lord, your children would be lords. But in America, everybody starts with the same opportunity. If you fail, you have a second chance, and a third, and so on. As long as you keep on trying, the American dream can be yours. In 1849, gold was discovered in California, and the chance of instant success was added to the American dream. This is the Californian version of the American dream that drives Curly's wife. She models herself on Hollywood movie stars and says, "A guy told me he could put me in pictures." The American dream is more than just a myth. It is hardwired into the United States Constitution. America's Declaration of Independence states, "All men are created equal, with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Many of the men signing that document were slave owners. America would fight a civil war over slavery, and racism is explicit in Of Mice and Men. One of Crooks's books is an out-of-date law book. Like many Americans, he sees his dream in a set of written codes and rights. 30 years later, Martin Luther King Jr. would promote the fight for equality by saying that black people had a right to the American dream. The American dream also includes home ownership. In 1862, President Lincoln created the Homestead Act. This was to encourage Western migration by providing settlers with cheap land. Initiatives like this continued right through to the end of the 1930s, so that Americans saw owning a home as part of the American dream. George and Lenny dream of their own home, not just as property, but as a safe place where they can be their own bosses and have control over their own lives. The American dream is a set of aspirations and opportunities that have been described to all American children as possible in America. They drive the characters in Of Mice and Men, but Steinbeck shows us an America where the dream is dying. As an American, he buys into the idea of the dream, but he shows us the tragic reality inflicted upon the poor, the vulnerable, the old, different races and women. Steinbeck refuses to offer his reader a sense of hope. He shows us a problem and dares us to ignore it. These characters and the people they represent cannot save themselves, cannot access the American dream. Only their fellow Americans, Steinbeck's readers, can help them. At least, that is what I think. In my next video, I will explore the learning question, what are the major themes in Of Mice and Men? So, until the next time, thank you for listening.